When you think of Jackie Chan, you normally think of kung fu, insane stunts, and action comedy. And if you're a fan, you might also know that he's a great singer. But this video is about something only super fans would know. And that is the fact that Jackie Chan is as great at acting as he is at everything else.
Slowly, I don't know when, the automatic in my mind.
Except for English. In this video, I'll show you 6 movies that prove Jackie Chan is a world-class actor. The Myth. Jack is an archaeologist who's having dreams about an ancient general who seems to be spiritually connected to him. In these dreams, Jack relives the epic story of that brave general and the princess whom he did the impossible to save. His mission was to secure her arrival and bring her to the dying emperor whom she is to be married to. These dreams kept on coming to Jack, as if they were chapters of a story that he was meant to complete. During the saving of that princess, a love story develops between her and the loyal general who'll choose to sacrifice that love for the sake of his homeland's unity. In general, I'd say the movie's directing was okay for 2005, but Jackie Chan's performance as an actor was absolutely impressive, especially in the last chapter of the general's story, when he avenges the death of his horse and the death of his friend, in an absolutely epic battle against the whole army. The furious general refuses to surrender or even let himself fall down. He'd rather kill himself first. New Police Story. The movie is definitely one of Jackie Chan's best movies, both in acting performance and in fight scenes. Inspector Chan is a hero cop with a great record of achievements, which made him a celebrity and a role model among young cops. On the other hand, there is a gang of spoiled police-hating criminals, robbing banks left or right and killing as many policemen as they can. After one of the robberies, Inspector Chan promises the public that he'll bring these guys to justice within 3 hours. But instead, he leads his team into a nightmare trap in which he'll see his whole team get killed, including his brother-in-law. The incident had a devastating impact on him, that he left his job and broke up with his fiancée, as he couldn't forgive himself for the death of her brother. The guilt drove him to become a full-time drunk man, until a mysterious guy appears in his life, pushing him to pull himself together and get back what he lost. The movie provides a very unusual Jackie, who can be seriously pissed off and be very unfriendly. The dramatic events in the story created a great opportunity for Jackie Chan to prove that he's a lot more than just a fighter who can act. The Karate Kid. Jackie Chan is 56 in this movie. For most people, that's old enough to feel tired if they do half the effort that this character did in these scenes. But for Jackie, it took a lot of acting to look tired after fighting with 6 boys at the same time. So he was actually old enough to naturally feel old, yet he had to act older than he feels because that's basically peanuts for him. Makes sense? But that's not the only thing that required acting here. In fact, the whole rule was very dramatic. In the entire movie, you only see him fighting just once. He's a serious man living with a lot of guilt and pain ever since he lost his family in a car accident. Pretty heavy stuff. Little Big Soldier. This one takes you into a very long and very dark journey. Literally. The color grading is suffocatingly dark. The Little Big Soldier here is Jackie Chan, who got the little title because he was just a simple man with simple dreams. Jackie lost all of his family to the never-ending Chinese wars. His father's wish was that one of his sons would survive so that their name doesn't die. Being the only one left, Jackie would use all his wits to survive the battle without risking his life for a cause that stopped making sense. Out of 3,000 soldiers, only him and a rival general survived, which was a great opportunity for him to get a reward and be forever exempted from the military service if he captures that general and delivers him home as his prisoner, which starts a series of events that are full of drama and very dark comedy. Jackie played the role of the simple man perfectly. He wasn't the kung fu master or the super soldier. He was just a farmer whose only dream is to survive and own a land. And maybe 2 cows. The impressive performance and the very touching ending will convince you that Jackie Chan is a world-class actor. Shinjuku Incident. I've always wanted to see Jackie Chan as a gangster, or a ruthless guy of some kind. He's not exactly like that here, but that's the closest it got with Jackie. It starts with him immigrating to Japan illegally in search of his fiancée who disappeared on him, only to find her married and with children after years of waiting for her. With no way back home, a broken heart, and horrible conditions he has to endure as an illegal immigrant, the good man decides to go bad, and the more it escalated, the more he had to push it, until he became an actual gangster. But the good man in him didn't really have what it takes to run a gang. He ended up being disobeyed and eventually backstabbed by the very same people whom he sacrificed everything for. The movie was a shock to me when I saw it the first time. Normally you expect to see Jackie the kung fu master, but in this one you see Jackie Chan master in every single aspect in acting and absolutely no kung fu. The Foreigner. So Jackie is an old man who loses his daughter in an IRA bombing in London. The ex-Special Forces soldier vows to kill the people who did it, and he does everything in his power to get their names.
We'll soon find out.
Give me the names.
I tell you what, let's meet face to face. What's up?
Overall, the role is extremely dramatic. He's a grieving badass on a mission of vengeance, and he's not fooling around. A very unusual appearance from the king of action comedy. But again, Jackie Chan is not the typical 60+ years old, so in The Foreigner, he was forced to act it out by the director. He even made Jackie redo some of the action scenes because he was simply too fast for someone in his 60s.
Sometimes when I create all the action sequences, I jump over the sofa, roll over. No. Too fast. Slow down. Well, you're not Jackie Chan. Okay, I have to.
Personally, I don't see the point of limiting someone like Jackie Chan like that, but he absolutely nailed it anyway. And that's it. Thank you for watching.
If I change to actor, nobody accept it. So for the last 20 years, I keep on change. Let the audience slowly know I'm the actor who can fight. It's not a fighter who can act.